Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for watching. So I already did my brows before I started filming, so I'm gonna go in now with the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer just to carve out the bottom of my brow, because in my opinion it gives me more of a natural look. So I'm going to be using the concealer to carve out the bottom, and as well as I'm going to be using the concealer to completely conceal my whole eyelid, just because it's going to take away any darkness that I may have, as well as any veins that I may have on my eye. And it's also going to serve as my eyeshadow primer, because my eyelids are not really oily enough to actually need an actual eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to get the concealer and completely put it throughout my whole eye, and then I'm going to go in with a smaller dome brush to completely blend it out and make sure that there are no harsh lines or no that it's completely blended. So now I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other eye, just carving out the bottom of my brow and then completely concealing the whole eyelid. Now I'm going to go in with my regular face powder, which is the Burberry Fresh Glow Compact, and I'm going to be using that to set the concealer. That way it doesn't crease and it doesn't move, and that way my eyeshadows can also have something more smooth to blend into, rather than just blending into concealer and it becoming very patchy, and they won't be able to blend well. So now I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe, and I'm going to be using the fourth eyeshadow in the palette. This is going to serve as my transition color. So I'm going to be using this with a fluffy brush. I'm just going to start from the outer corner of my eye and take it all the way to the inner corner of my eye, just blending back and forth, making sure that everything is completely blended and completely smooth. I like to take my time with this part just because I don't want there to be any harsh lines or any harsh edges, so I like to go back and forth. This same process, I like to repeat it for a couple times just to make sure that everything is blended, as you could see. So I'm just going back and forth again throughout the whole eye. I'm not really being specific where I'm placing it. I am placing it in my crease, but just kind of like everywhere in the crease. And I'm not being worried about taking it so high, just because since this is just a transition color, this color is just to help all the other colors that I'm going to be using to be able to blend better into so they could be able to blend better in general. So right now I'm just getting that same color from the transition. I'm going to be just building it to how intense I want it, just going back and forth, picking up color to make it as intense as I want to. Now I'm going in with my second color, and I'm going to be placing it in the same way that I place the transition color, which was in the outer corner, and bringing it all the way to the inner corner. The only difference is that this time I'm not going to make it so intense in the inner corner. I'm going to leave all the color more towards the outer corner, but it's going to be the same steps, just blending it from the outer corner to the inner corner, just not as intense in the inner corner. So right now I just picked up a little bit more color at the same color, and just going to make it more intense. That way the colors are more vivid and they're stronger. So I'm just going to be doing the same thing to the other eye, just a little bit more faster. Of course, now you can see I'm just going to be going in back and forth from the outer corner to the inner corner. So now with this darker brown and a smaller fluffy brush, I'm just going to be putting this on the outer corner of my eye only. Later on I'm going to go in with another brush, which was the brush that I used for the second shadow. I'm going to be using that brush with no additional color, just whatever was left on it, to blend that part out. That way there are no harsh lines on the outer corner of my eye. But I'm just going to get this color and just concentrated on the outer corner. I'm not really gonna try to bring it all the way in or anything like that. I'm just gonna leave it there. That way it's very intense on the outer corner of the eye, and it gives me more of like a cat eye look, which I like better for this look right now that I'm doing. Alright, so right now I'm just going in with this shimmer shadow, and I'm going to be putting it on my brow bone to serve as my highlight. So I'm going to be putting it, like I said, just on the highest point of my brow bone, just in that area. Now I'm applying just a little bit of mascara because I'm going to be going in with false lashes after. So as you can see, I already have my false lashes on. I'm using the House of Lashes Boudior Lite. They make a huge difference, and I love how these lashes look. So now I'm moving on to my skin. So I'm going to be using the Glam GlowStarter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer in the color Nude Glow. I really like this moisturizer because it's not super oily. It's hydrating, but not like, it's not sticky, or it's not like wet looking. It's perfect. It has a nice sheen to it. And then I'm going to be going in with the MAC Fix Plus that's in the scent Coconut, which is now a permanent scent. Next, I'm going to be going in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer in the Smoothing Primer. I really like it because it helps to even out the texture of my skin. I have a little bit of texture, so it helps to kind of smooth that out better and gives it a nice feel to the skin. Now I'm going to be going in with my foundation, which is the YSL All Hours foundation. It has a 24-hour wear, which I personally haven't tested 24 hours of wear, but I have worn it for 6+ hours, up to like 10, and it has really lasted through, you know, that time. It doesn't really break up. It does get a little bit shiny throughout the day, like, you know, towards the end after like a couple hours of wear, but it really holds up, and it's a beautiful foundation. It doesn't look cakey. It's just a beautiful, beautiful foundation. So I'm just going to be applying that all over my face with the buffer brush. I really don't focus a lot on my forehead. I pretty much just, you know, focus on my cheeks and my nose and my mouth, and whatever is pretty much just left on the brush is what I use on my forehead, because I don't really have much to cover on my forehead. I don't really have acne or any discoloration. So whatever's left, I just put it there, because either way I put concealer there to highlight, so that's going to give me more coverage. So I don't really like my forehead to kind of look cakey. So that's a trick. If you don't really have much to cover on your forehead or in certain spots of your face, you don't really have to put that much foundation, because either way, when you go with concealer, it's going to add extra coverage. So I'm going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer all over my under eyes, and then I'm going to be putting it on my chin and, like I said, on my forehead. And then I'm just going to be using that to run it a little bit down my nose, just to give me a little bit of highlight. Not to really contour or anything like that, just because I don't contour my nose that much. I just like to, you know, bring more highlight to that area of my nose. So with my same foundation brush, I'm going to be using to blend the concealer, and then I'm going to be going in with the Patrick Star and MAC collaboration, their brightening powder that they did. I'm going to be using that just to set everywhere that I put concealer. So my under eyes, my forehead, my chin, and my nose. I'm just going to use that to set it. Then I'm going in again with my regular face powder, which was the Burberry Fresh Glow Compact, just to set my whole foundation. So going in now with my bronzer, which is from Physicians Formula. It's the Butter Bronzer, which is one of my favorite all-time bronzers that I've tried. It's very smooth. It's the perfect color because it's not too red. It's not too cool. It's just the perfect bronzer to me, in my opinion. It's, like I said, it's very smooth, very natural. So, you know, you could build it up and it won't really ever look like really dark or really tan. It's the perfect color for my skin tone. And they also came out with a darker color. I believe there's now 2 shades. Like I said, I'm the lightest shade, so I have the light bronzer, and I believe they do have a darker one. So like I'm putting that all over my skin, my forehead, my cheekbones, you know, pretty much all over my skin. And then I'm going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette just to contour a little bit. Only like on the pretty much everywhere that I use the bronzer is where I'm going to contour. Now I'm going to go in with the Anastasia and Amrezy highlighter, which is a beautiful, beautiful blinding highlighter. So if you like that look, this highlighter is definitely for you. It is limited edition, and I do hope that they make it permanent because it's a beautiful highlighter, and I would hate for it to run out and then they don't have any more. But I'm going to be using that all over my the highest point of my cheekbones, just to really highlight that area. And as you can see, it's very nice. It's a flawless color, and it's very good for a lot of skin tones and skin shades. So I'm going to be putting that on the bridge of my nose as well to highlight, and on my Cupid's bow. So now going in with the blush, I'm using the Too Faced Love Flush Blush and Baby Love. This is currently one of my favorite blushes. It's the neutral color, so it's not too pink, it's not too peach. You know, it's not like a brown. It's kind of like everything in one. To me, it's like MAC Sunbask, which is like a perfect blush for everybody. The only difference is that this one doesn't have the same sheen as that one. So I'm going in again with the second color that I use on my eyelid, which I will be putting the colors in the bottom because I forget their names. So I'm going to be doing that all over on the bottom lash line, and then with the highlighter that I use for my brow bone, I'm going to be using it again for my inner corner of my eyes, just to bring more light and more attention to that area. It helps to make the eyes look a little bit more awake and bigger. So now going in with the MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick in Burnt Spice. I'm going to be using that all over the lips, which I personally like because it's the MAC liquid lipsticks. On me, they're not drying. They're very long lasting. They look smooth, and the applicator is super easy to apply. So going in with the Morphe Set and Prep, I'm going to be applying that all over my skin. So I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I can't wait to film something else and be able to share it with you guys. Thank you.